Good evening, believers. How are you doing today? It is Love Coach Dasha coming to you today for the Healing Hour Live. Now, if you've never been with me before, you don't know what it is that I do here. Let me tell you a little bit about it. I am a relationship coach for women who want to stay and reconcile after infidelity. That is who I work with. Hey, Peg, I see you over on Instagram. That is who I'm here for. I am here for the women who want to stay and work it out, who have been in pain about this trauma, about this betrayal, but they still love their mate. They still want to be there. They still want to try to work this out. Even if you don't have any clue how to work it out, still in the back of your mind, you are hesitating on leaving. You don't particularly want to leave. You love this person. You thought you had it pretty good. You want to stick it out. I am here to help you figure all of that out, okay? I am here to help you figure out every single aspect of this healing path so that you and your honey can go ahead and be happy together. You should be able to be happy together. Just because this trauma happened does not mean that, oh, that's the be all and end all for the entire relationship. Bad things happen in relationships. It's just a fact of this life. We do things that hurt the people that are closest to us because they're the people that are closest to us. It's easy. It's not even very difficult to hurt the people that are closest to you. So, in order to figure your way out of that, all right, in order to figure your way past the trauma, you've just got to be willing. That's it. You just got to be a little bit willing to say, okay, I do have space for forgiveness for this person in my heart. I would like to try and work on that. I would like to try and get there. And if you are anywhere in that space mentally, I am here to help you, okay? So, look at that. I got here right on time today. It's amazing. I love it. Now, the whole time you go ahead and talk to me. You all let me know if you have any questions, comments, thoughts, complaints. I want to answer all your questions. I want to make this easier on you. This has been a trauma. It's stressful. It's messing with your head. I want you to know that there are solid answers. There are ways to get out of feeling like this, and you can get to a much better place. I know because I've done it myself. Me and my husband dealt with infidelity for like the first 4 years we were together, but we have been together for 22 years at this point, okay? He has behaved better longer than he messed up, all right? You can get to that place. You can get to a place where you feel solid, where you feel trusting, where you feel happy with your decisions, where you feel like you're happy with their decisions too. All right. So I want you to join me for a little stroll along the healing path. All right. First things first, we always do the same things to start off with because I want you doing these things all the time. Okay. I want to impress upon you how important they are. These things that I'm about to list through with you are things that you can do to start helping the trauma right now, right this second. You don't have to keep suffering with it any further than today. You can start doing things to reduce that trauma level, reduce that level of anxiety that you have on a regular basis, make yourself feel better, soothe yourself, and then it's a whole lot easier for you to deal with the relationship stuff after you've gotten control over your emotions. Does that make sense? So the first thing that we're going to always do is do our deep breathing. Have you done your deep breathing today? I don't know if you've done it today, but I need you to jump on it with me now. I need you to be doing your deep breathing, getting in control of your breath, because that is super important to you healing a trauma. If you have been traumatized, and you are in fight or flight mode, your brain is automatically just squirting a little adrenaline in whenever it feels like it, getting your body revving, getting your blood pressure up, getting your pulse up, making you feel like you're in danger. All right. We've got to stop that. We cannot continue to live like that. Haven't you been living like that? It feels like every time you're at a little bit of peace, all of a sudden your brain just squirts a little bit more fear into your system. And then all of a sudden you feel like, oh, I'm overwhelmed and I'm never going to get past this. All right. I know that it feels like that, but The thing that you can do to stop your brain from messing with you like that is doing your deep breathing. All right. That is the opposite breathing from I'm freaked out, I'm panicking. It's the completely opposite energy. You are in control of your breath. You are not panting because you need lots of oxygen to your bloodstream to be able to fight or run. You are not in that space when you are doing your deep breathing. Okay. Slowly inhaling, slowly exhaling excess carbon dioxide. Breathe in that oxygen. You feel excellent when you do it. All right. So I want you to be doing this. I want this to be part of your regular day. I want you to just periodically through the day, at least five times a day, to do your deep breathing and show your brain who's boss. Tell your brain that you do not need the anxiety reaction. You do not need the fight or flight response right now. You are in control of things. You've got your breath under control. Things are just fine. If you do that on a consistent basis, you will convince your brain will calm way down, and it will be so much easier for you to handle everything else that comes with this healing path. All right. So we do our deep breathing. What I do is 4-7-8 breathing, but you can pick whatever pattern pleases you. Okay. If you want to do 5-5-5, if you want to do 8-8-8, I don't care. I don't care what it is as long as you're doing it. Okay. It's in the doing. It's not about how you do it. It's actually doing it that is going to help you. Okay. First things first, blow out and try and deflate your lungs. Try and get them it's deflated as a balloon. All right. Then we're going to inhale for a count of 4. You're going to hold that breath for a count of 7. And then you're going to blow out like you're blowing out a whole cake full of birthday candles for a count of 8. Now, you're going to do this a couple of times in a row. It's a little bit stressful when you first try and do it. It feels like I can't catch my breath. I can't quite get there, but it's okay. All you need to do is follow along with me. We're going to do it 3 times in a row. So by the 3rd time, you will have it. I promise. If you have like bad allergies, if you're a smoker, it's a little bit more difficult to do deep breathing. However, it is good for everybody. Deep breathing is good for everybody. It's good for all types of pain and problems. So getting that fresh oxygen in your body is critical. We need to do that. Let's jump on it. All right. So first things first, we're going to blow out. Inhale through your nose. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last time. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Lovely. How do you feel when you do your deep breathing? I get a little lightheaded. I'm one of those people. It makes me a little lightheaded if I have forgotten to do my deep breathing for a little while. I will get a little lightheaded from all that fresh oxygen going into my brain, going into my bloodstream. It is a beautiful feeling. Some people get a little sleepy, but some people get a little wired. Some people feel like their thoughts are clearer. It doesn't, there are so many different things that can occur when you do this, and including pain relief. I used to work as a nurse in a hospital, and I took care of clients with sickle cell disease. And when they were in crisis, I would sit with them and help them breathe through it. It helps with pain. It really does. And especially since that particular pain was caused by lack of oxygen, and then you do deep breathing, you're giving yourself extra oxygen. A lot of pain in the body is from lack of oxygen, not getting the blood flow where it needs to be. So as we're doing this deep breathing, this is helping our entire body, our entire system Do it consistently, okay? 5 times a day. All right. Second thing that I'm always going to remind you of, and you know what? My journals are still in the doggone storage. I'm going to get stuff on Tuesday. But doing your journaling. Doing your journaling is the second thing. I want you to stop. I want you to sit down. I want you to take pen and paper every single day. All right. I have gotten back on mine. I have a nice calendar, and just realized that there's spaces in the back of the month that you can write in. I was like, oh hell, I could have been using that the whole time. I got this planner with me at all times. I could have been using that to write it down. So I do. I started writing things down. I started trying to do my daytime and my nighttime journaling again. It's hard. It's hard to keep up with. It is. But if you're in the midst of this trauma and you are struggling and you can't quite figure out how to feel better, it is important for you to journal. You're writing first thing in the morning, about 5 minutes, right before you go to bed, about 5 minutes. It doesn't have to be a book. It just has to be a reference. This is scientific notes. This is how I'm feeling. This is what my body is doing. This is what's going on around me, so that you can put the clues together. You'll know what triggers you. You'll know what things make you feel comfortable and make you feel happy. You will know those things because you're writing them down consistently. All right. You need your date, you need your time, you need your level of anxiety. Date and time goes at the beginning and the end. Okay. We want to make sure, I'm sorry, date and time goes at the beginning, and then your level of anxiety goes at the beginning and the end. You want to recognize how much effectiveness this journaling has given you in your anxiety. All right. You want to be able to look at the numbers. If you start writing and you're a 7, and then you finish writing and you're a 5, you have found an effective way to start to regulate your emotions, to calm yourself down, to get in control of yourself so that you can deal with all the other pieces of healing. All right. You found an effective tool. And it's also useful because your memory is trash on trauma. You do not remember the way you think that you remember. So if you are consistently writing things down, you don't have to remember it. You can just go back and read it. You'll be surprised by things that are in your journal. Be like, damn, I said that. I didn't even know that was me. It's strange now. I got one of those memories on Facebook, and I think I just kind of used to use it kind of as a journal and just write things down. And I got one of those memories today, and I haven't the faintest idea what in the world I was talking about. I don't know. I was very vague. I didn't talk about any details. I just said, can we please not? That's what I said. I don't know what the hell that was about. I really don't. I could not tell you what that is about right now, but I know that it was important to me then. So it's much, much better when you're journaling to go ahead and write down full thoughts, give a little bit of context, what is happening in the world around you, what's happening in your household, so that you know what was happening when you wrote something down in particular. You're going to be able to look back into that journal and find notes about things that you've already solved in your head, but you forgot about when it came up again. All right. It's very important. Journaling is super, super important. I need you to jump on that. I need you to be doing this on a regular basis. Okay. Third thing that we are always, I didn't even tell you, 0 to 10 is the scale for your level of anxiety that you're going to be putting in the beginning and the end. Your level of anxiety is 0. All is right with the world. Everything is wonderful. 10 is a loss of control. 10 is I want to rip my hair out, tear my clothes off, run screaming down the street naked. That's how intense it is. You will not be sitting at your desk opening up a journal if you're a 10. All right. Don't even write down a 10 because it's probably not true. All right. All right. Third thing, everybody that's here today, give me some likes, give me some love. Let me know that you're here. Let the algorithm know that you're here and you love me. All right. Let me know. Give me some likes. Give me some stuff popping up on the screen. All right. The third thing is always, always cultivate an attitude of gratitude. I want you to be thankful for things. I know that this is a terrible thing that has happened. However, I am telling you that at some points, and it's not even that far off in the future, as you are healing, you are going to come to some gratefulness that this happened to you. All right. If you practice it, if you keep on going for it, gratefulness as much as you possibly can, looking for it, searching for it in your life on a regular basis, I'm trying to tell you, you will actually find that you are grateful that this trauma happened to you eventually. All right. It's a great thing to have to look forward to. All right. So I want you to be looking forward to it. I want you to be thinking about that. As you're going along, I want you to be day to day finding things to be grateful for and enthusiastically looking for them. All right. Um, when you are in a place of gratitude, it kind of cancels out that pain and that trauma because you can look at something and say, I am so grateful to have all my studio stuff set up in my office and to be able to talk to you all about this. I'm so grateful for that. You will find those things, and then your brain cannot say, the trauma can't say that you are wrong about that. It cannot do that because you are grateful for it. That is putting it in a positive light, no matter what it is. And so if your brain is, well, no, you shouldn't be grateful for technology. That sounds kind of crazy. I actually am grateful for that. Oh, you should be grateful for your kids. It can't give you that out for your brain. So you will be consistently looking for things that make you happy, that make you feel grateful. And as you look for those things, your brain will learn that that's what you're trying to do. And it will look for those things too. So instead of having all the intrusive thoughts, instead of constantly ruminating about what has happened in your love life, if you are looking for those things to be grateful for, your brain will translate that into your love life. It will start looking for things to be grateful for in that area too. All right. It can change the programming. Our brains are very sophisticated computers. They have very nice programming. However, you're the boss and you can change the programming. So I want you to do that because it's miserable when this program of I want to be lonely and isolated and sad is running. All right. Um, uh, so that's why I do Thirsty Thursday. That's why I like to have a place for everybody to share good news. So if you're with me now, I see you with me. Hi. Give me some good news. Let me shout you out tonight. Let me tell everybody how wonderful something went for you this week. I want you to be consistently sharing the good. When you're looking for the good and then you're constantly sharing the good, a lot of that trauma is going to lift. All right. You're not going to be as sad, as angry, as touchy as you had been because you are sharing good things that you are consistently looking for. All right. This bad thing happened to you out of the blue. You didn't look for it, but you can look for good things all around you and share them and revel in them and enjoy them. And it calms that very negative, very traumatized voice in your head, that fear speech in your head. It calms it right down. All right. Anybody got anything good? Oh, my car broke down this week. I'll give you an example of it's still good. It's still good. It's still something to be grateful for. Okay. My car broke down this week. Now, on a typical day, I'm running up and down the street. I'm like, I go take my husband to work. He's like 5 minutes away. But then I take my son to school, come back, and then I got to go pick them up in the afternoon. So it's like it kind of breaks up the day a little bit. And I was wishing for some time. I was wishing for some extra time. And my car broke down like, what, Sunday? So now I had the extra time. Right? The time was a period. And you will be starting to see what I did with the time in this upcoming week. Okay. So I am grateful that the car broke down and gave me time. I'm not grateful for the actual hassle of having to fix the car, but knowing that that problem gave me something that I needed and that you'll be able to see it. You'll be able to see what it did this week because I've been working. Um, just because I had that extra free time. So even a bad thing can be something you can be grateful for. Does that make sense? Let me know if I sound crazy. You know I'm always looking for the positive. All right. One last thing that I'm always going to tell you before I tell you anything else, before I answer any other questions. Oh, you've got to stop asking all those questions. Okay. You got to stop asking your mate all those questions about what has happened, the whole full disclosure thing, trying to figure out every detail. I need you to stop that. All right. I need you to cut it out. I know you want to. I know that your brain is literally itching for you to ask these questions, but you need to know that that's a trauma response. Okay. That desire to ask question after question after question, to keep on feeling like I don't have all the information. Is this person still lying to me? That's a trauma response. It is not about them. It is about your brain saying, I want to protect her and I don't want her to be hurt like this anymore. So if I find out all of these answers, then I will be prepared for if this happens again. I will give her all the answers. I will warn her ahead of time. I will stop the pain from even happening. That's what your brain is saying. And it's just not true. If somebody wants to cheat on you, even if they are trying to do it again, if they have cheated and you caught them and they are trying to do it again, you can't stop somebody from doing something that they are determined to do. All right. You can know all the signs. You can know exactly what happened the last time, but it won't be the same the next time. So, first of all, your brain is just lying to you. That does not help you. It does not protect you asking all these questions, getting all these answers. All right. And the second thing you need to know is that the answers are more traumatizing. If you are in the place where your emotions are all still in this, you cannot get a good grip on them. All right. There is pain. There is suffering. There is your stomach hurting. There is your head throbbing. There is your heart pounding out of your chest. If that is still where you are about this trauma, I promise you, not an answer in the world is going to help you. It is just going to traumatize you more. You're wide open. You're wide open. You have not got any regulation over yourself. You do not have any control over yourself at that point. That's like the devastation phase. If you are there, it doesn't matter what he says. It doesn't matter how many truths he tries to tell you. You're not going to be able to accept it. And it's going to make you feel more traumatized. You're going to collect that information, internalize it, make it all about you, and make yourself feel terrible about whatever answers that he gives you. I'm saying that you're not ready for it. That's what I'm trying to say. When you are so desperate for it, is the time when you're not ready for full disclosure. And I promise you, if you just wait, if you just go ahead and heal a little bit, if you just go ahead and take some steps down the healing path, you're going to be in a better place. You can absorb that information then. You will find out truths that you didn't even know about a little bit later on. Give it a minute. All right. Do not keep asking all those questions. Stop it. All right. Now, that all being said, I know that this is an automatic thing that your brain does. Your brain is on autopilot when it's asking these questions. It is itching, telling you, hey, you got to ask this question. I must have answers. All right. And I get that your brain is doing that. So instead of asking the questions that you want to ask, where did you have sex? And did you tell her that you loved her? And did you tell her that she was pretty? instead of all of those, all right, all the questions that your brain is screaming at you to ask, I want you to take a moment and pick something different. All right. This is the and THEAND, the and. This is the healing edition. These are great questions. It's 199 questions in this box, all right, from the makers of the skindeep.com is where it came from, but you can find it on Amazon. Just put in the and. These cards are about 30 bucks, and it's an excellent set of questions, all right? Thought provoking, sweet, insightful, things that you would want to hear from him instead of the things that you desperately do not need to hear from him and really don't want to hear from him, okay? Instead of doing that, instead of asking him all the terrible questions that your brain wants to ask, I want you to pick a different question so that you can play this game with him, and you can deal out a few cards. I'm trying to tell you, you only need like 2 or 3 to have a whole conversation. All right, 2 or 3 of these, deal these out and answer them back and forth. If there's a question that you feel like is a little too sensitive and that might cause you to argue, don't answer that question by holding their hands, looking in their eyes for 10 seconds, and then saying pass. That's all you got to do. Very simple game, excellent questions, way better questions than the ones you want to ask. I promise you they're better. All right. First one I'm going to give you is, in what ways do you believe in me? All right. Isn't that one of those ones? Now, as you're going through this, all right, you want to know how he feels about you, right? This is an excellent one for that. All right. In what ways do you believe in me? All right. My husband thinks I am magic. All right. He really does. He has faith that I can pull off anything, anytime. And sometimes I just can't do it. But he believes. He believes that if it's something that we need, if it's something that can happen, I'm going to be able to do it. Now, a lot of the time I do prove him right. But some days I just ain't got it. Right? Some days I just ain't got it. I cannot do it for him. But I am delighted that he believes that I'm magic, that I can do the thing. And no matter what the circumstance, I love that he believes that about me. So you need to find out, in what ways do you believe in me? Excellent question, right? Isn't that a better question than the questions you've been asking? I think they are. Let's see. What do you, oh no, I've asked that before. That was just a week ago. What was the last thing to happen that challenged our trust in one another? And it might not have even been the cheating. He might tell you something completely different you didn't know made him not trusting you. Excellent question. Way better than the questions you want to ask. Oh, I dropped it. Can't even read it again. All right. And one more. Let's see. What do you respect most about me? See, that's one of those really good ones. Don't you want to know what he respects about you? Wouldn't that be better to ask than the questions that are spinning around in your head, making you miserable? I'm telling you, it's much, much better off. Pick some of these cards. Go to the and. Can you see it on there? The and. I don't know if you can see it on this screen. Yeah. Okay. All right. Now, that's the basics. I'm always going to go through all that. I go through all that in the first half hour because I want you to consistently do all these things. These are things that I have always worked. As I have been developing my programs, as I worked on it myself, these things help me, helped other women. I know they will help you. You just got to follow through and do them. And they're not difficult. They're all things that you can do without any assistance. You can do all the, you can get this card game and ask him the questions. If your brain is itching, you can just get the card game and ask him the questions without it being a game back and forth. If you just feel like you want to ask some questions, go ahead. But it's better to choose from these than to choose from the negative, fearful, intrusive ones that are going through your head. All right. So I need you to be on this. I need you to be working on this. I need you to be consistent. I need you to take it seriously, because these are the things that are going to help you to help yourself to get out of trauma. I know you're expecting him to rescue you, but that's just not how it is. You are the hero of this story. The rescuing is going to be done by you. All right. Don't expect it from him. Don't look for it from him. That is not what is going to happen. If this relationship is going to make it, if you're going to heal, it is going to be because of you. All because of you. You are the main character here. What you do determines the outcome. All right. Does that make sense to everybody? Let me know. You got questions, comments, thoughts, complaints? I am here for you. You know, I want to answer your questions. And let's see, let's go on and get to Joni's question. Got a question on the post. Says, a year anniversary this weekend, and not right now, just need time alone. Oh, no, I don't know what the not right now part. You don't want to deal with him right now. I understand not wanting to deal with him, but I need you to understand that that is a trauma reaction. You are coming upon this anniversary. All right. Everything in the world will start reminding you of where you were back then when you found out this pain. And your brain, no matter how far you've actually come in this last year, because you've come a long way. We're still together. We're still working it out. It's been a year. You're actually doing well, but your brain will tell you, oh, you're doing so poorly. You are so sad. You are so miserable. Things are not working out the way that you need them to. It will tell you that and get you all riled up for this anniversary coming up and have you feeling like you should isolate, have you feeling like you should pull back. And I want you to not isolate, okay, Johnny? I need you to just resist the urge to do that. When you are experiencing trauma, when you are coming upon this trauma anniversary, you need to take that back. You cannot just let yourself fall into the feelings, okay? The feelings will suck you right under. All right. Your brain will go immediately back to where you were a year ago, which is not where you are now. But if you allow it, it will flow right back there with no problem, because it remembers very distinctly what it was like to have that trauma. And it's very easy for it to fall back into that habit. So you need to be very aware not to isolate, not to close yourself off. I need you to be looking for wonderful things to do. I need you to be planning for this weekend, okay? I need you to have something to do, keep yourself busy, spend time with your husband, and if you are feeling the bitterness, the anger, the pain, it starts welling up to the surface, I need you to do your deep breathing, all right? On this weekend, for your anniversary reaction, I need you to not bring it up. All right. No matter what your brain is screaming at you, no matter how your body is reacting from the anxiety, I want you to not talk about it. All right. Especially not to him this weekend. All right. You're going to take the power away from this time and this particular anniversary and this particular pain. You're going to take that power away by not even allowing yourself to sit there and wallow in it, to sit there and be miserable, to sit there and not be with your husband and not be having fun this weekend. All right. You got to recognize that the pain wants you to isolate. We cannot do what the pain wants us to do and heal. All right. You got to make a choice. You've got to make a choice. It is either you do what the pain says and it leads you off into justified land where, oh, I can do what I want to because he hurt me. Or you follow the healing. You don't do what the pain tells you to do. You react with love. You react with understanding. You react with compassion. You react with connection. And you tell your brain, no, 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 no. I am not going to be stuck like that anymore. I am choosing moving forward. All right. You got to make your decision. You got to make your choice between the two. So you cannot heal following behind the pain. All right. Does that make sense to you? Whoever's here with me right now, let me know if that basic concept makes sense. If you're going to heal, you cannot continue to follow the pain. All right. Because the pain will try and tell you that you're justified. The pain will say that because he did this to you, because he hurt you so bad, you get to just do whatever the hell you want to. You can hurt him, you can lash out at him, you can be angry and hurtful and mean and bitchy all you want to. You can do what you want because you're justified. All right. Now, would that be what you do if you weren't justified? If this had never happened, is that you to be mean? Is that you to be bitchy? Is that you to complain all the time? Is that you to cheat back? Is that you? And that's what you need to be paying attention to. The fear will try and take you out of your character. The fear will tell you that, oh, it's perfectly fine because you're justified. But then you are acting out of your character, leading yourself further and further away from your center, from who you are, because somebody hurt you. That's not even fair. You shouldn't lose yourself just because somebody hurt you. It's not fair. It's not something that should happen to you. And you've got to fight back against it. You've got to rail against your brain trying to make you feel like doing those things is the appropriate thing. Because if you are reaching out and you are lashing out and you are trying to hurt him and you are feeling justified for it, that's abusive. I know that sucks to hear. I know that everybody will tell you, well, he deserves it and you can react however you want to. You can feel however you want to. You cannot react however you want to. That is unacceptable. If he reacted however he wanted to all the time, you'd be ready to leave him. Okay? You cannot just react to all of your feelings and then expect him to just suck it up and be like, oh, well, it's fine because I cheated on her so she can treat me like trash. And is that what you really want to be like? Do you want this trauma to have changed you so much that you treat the person you love so deeply badly? Is that what you want for yourself? If it's not, come join me on the healing path, y'all. Come join me so that you can do better than that. You can get past the I'm justified in hurting you and get to a better place. All right. All right. Any comments, questions, complaints, concerns? Don't see any Thirsty Thursday. Don't see any. Oh, Elise. Hey, Elise. But how do you not express feelings when you're mad? It's hard to play nice when you're full of emotions. That's the thing, Elise. Most emotions are only supposed to be present and last for about 90 seconds. Okay? Most feelings do that. They are flowing like water. They come in, they give you information, they flow out. If you're holding on to it past 90 seconds, that's you hanging on to it. It's not the natural flow of your emotions. That is you being in pain and latching onto, well, I'm mad and it makes sense that I'm mad and I just want to be mad. And then it lengthens the time that you feel that emotion. What you're needing to be doing is regulating those emotions. If you're mad, if it comes to you that I am feeling mad, go do something so that you're not mad anymore. You yelling at him, expressing your feelings to him doesn't make you less mad. If he is sitting right there and you are feeling mad and you're like, I am so pissed at you, is there anything that he can say to make you less mad than you are? Not really, right? You let me know. I found out the hard way. It did not work like that for me. Me continuously expressing negative emotions at my mate made our relationship just feel negative all the time. I couldn't find any good things. I couldn't find any positive times because he was always fucking up me, telling him about my feelings. If I'm telling you that I'm mad, you're supposed to make me feel better. And that's just not possible. He does not have a little toolkit to be able to crawl in my ear and adjust my brain. He does not have that power. And that's what it is, Elise. It's you are giving the power to the emotion, and you're giving the power to him instead of taking that power for yourself. Does that make sense? It's not about playing nice. It's about feeling your feelings, processing through them. Yes, I am mad because he cheated. I am pissed about that. I don't like it. It sucks. I am angry that it happened to me. I don't like that it's in my life. However, there is not a thing I can do about it. I can sit here and keep being mad about it. I can sit here and keep being sad and hurt and upset and my stomach hurting and my chest hurting and my head pounding. I can do that. But does it change anything? No. Does that make me feel any better? No, because I'm reveling in these negative emotions. So I'm saying that as you start to heal, you start to control those emotions, go do something to help you with the mad. I am a big proponent of breaking stuff. Okay. I am big time into go to the thrift store. No better place. Go to the thrift store, find you a few little delicate cups and saucers that don't have any matches, and buy a few of those and go smash something if you're mad. Talking about it ain't doing shit. Okay? If it did, if it worked, I'd say do it. But has it worked? If you're mad and you just go and express it, has he ever said the right thing to make you feel better? Has he ever like responded in the way that you wanted him to make you not mad? No, probably not, right? And so then you deal with your emotion, not bringing it to him to fix. I know that's what the trauma tells you. He did this, so he should fix my mad. But he is not capable of that. He cannot go into your ear and fix your brain either. So you have to deal with your own mad. Then you can come back and deal with him. So if you need to go out, break up something, go out, spend some money if you need to, go out and get away from the situation, whatever it is that caused the anxiety and the anger to boil up in the first place. Journal about it a little bit. Hey, out of the blue today, I was just pissed all of a sudden at him, and I just needed to get out of the house, so I ran off for a little while, and I went and I broke something, and I feel a lot better now, and I'm calmed down, and I can go back in the house now. Writing all that in your journal, doing the actions to make yourself feel better, and then coming back and deal with them, then you can play nice. Then you're not gonna just be bitchy and because you were hurting, because you were feeling something. The thing is, all right, we are much more emotional creatures. That's the first thing. When we are dealing with our mate, right? We're not supposed to actually bring them all of our emotions to fix. You don't typically do that, do you? As you're walking around in your day to day, do you bring him your emotions when you're having a negative emotion about something else? Do you bring it to him and say, "Here, I feel bad, fix it for me"? No, right? I don't know. It may just be me. You let me know. Everybody that's here right now, please tell me your insight on it. But if it's a regular thing, a regular problem, a regular issue with your emotions, you don't go to him and say, "Oh, I've got to express these emotions to you so I can feel better." Eh, Like, if you are doing that, I want you to stop. Okay? If you are, I want you to cut it out. All right. Because you are supposed to be able to deal with your own emotions. You depending upon him to fix your emotions is codependence. That is not a healthy relationship. Okay. So if that is what you have been doing consistently, you're like, "Oh, I feel bad. Here, honey, fix it for me." That is codependence. Okay. I want you to cut it out right now. I want you to stop it. Nobody can fix your emotions but you. Nobody can make you feel better but you. All right. Nobody can get you out of one emotion and into the next emotion like you can. All right. You got to start working on your emotional regulation. You got to start working on choosing another emotion. Just because you had that feeling doesn't mean that you have to hold on to it. It doesn't mean that it's permanent. A lot of the time, if you were willing to let go of the feeling, like I said, it only lasts about 90 seconds. That's the way our brain is programmed. So, consistency, deciding that I don't want to sit here and be mad at him all the time. And I don't want him to fix me. I am the main character here. I am perfectly capable of fixing myself. I can be the damn hero. I can and I will be the hero of this story. This is my story. This is my trauma. I'm about to be the hero of this. You can make those choices. A lot of it is just deciding to do it. Your brain gets in the way when you are traumatized. It tells you that, oh no, you can't do it. You can't fix yourself. You are just a weak little girl. But it's just never been true. It's never been true. So you don't have to listen to that idea in your head. If there's something that you want fixed in your life, fix it. Don't you dare wait around here for somebody else to come along and fix up your life for you. If something is not going the way that you want it to, make it go that way. Steer the ship. Don't wait around for somebody to fix it because you're going to be waiting a long time. Okay? You're going to be waiting a long time, getting mad because why isn't my life fixed yet? Because you haven't done anything about it to fix it. That's how you do it. All right. So all that being said, Elise, does that make sense? Go get rid of the mad. Don't bring it to him. You don't want to keep doing that. Do you want him to bring you all his negative emotions too? Again, codependence. It's not pleasant. It's not a good thing to do to each other. So, you know, deal with the emotion, feel the emotion, deal with it, then come back to him. Then you can play nice. That makes sense? You all let me know if that doesn't make sense. I'll try and explain it better, but I mean, it's a pretty simple concept. It sucks because it's the exact opposite of what the trauma in your brain was. The trauma in your brain, though, is trying to stop you from healing. It is not trying to help you. It is not saying, oh no, we need to pick ourselves up and brush ourselves off and not be afraid anymore. Your brain will tell you that that's what the goal is, but it really wants you to be afraid. It wants you to keep responding to that fear stimuli. It wants you to go hide in a cave somewhere. And I don't want you hiding. I don't want you hiding. I want you out here in the world, enjoying this life, being with the person that you love, being happy. Okay, that's what I want for you. Don't go hide. And don't let the negative emotions and the fear tell you what to do. If the fear has welled up, most of the time, if I'm feeling it up in here, if it's coming up my chest, in my solar plexus, going up my throat, if I feel it there, I know it's the wrong thing to do because it's all anxiety. It's none of my own intellect. It is a fear response down here in the pit of my stomach, and it is wanting me to react with fear. If you can just pick that out, you'll be good to go. If you're feeling that, if it's so many feelings, and you just want to lash out, you want to do a thing, it is the worst possible thing that you can do because your body is trying to tell you that it wants to fight. It's trying to tell you that it wants to lash out. And so you're going to lash out and do that thing, and you're going to make the situation worse. Right? So yeah, it definitely makes sense. Good, good. I'm sorry. You're welcome. I'm glad I can be here for you. You know, I want to answer these questions for you. I know it's hard when you're full of emotions. It hurts and it's stressful, and you just feel like you can't get past it, but you absolutely can. It's just the fact that all of the instincts you have are leading you in the wrong direction. That's what I figured out. All right. As I was going through it myself, as I was figuring it out, that's what I figured out. All of the instincts, all of the things are like, your gut will tell you, all the stuff your gut wants you to do is fear based. It's all pushing you in the wrong direction as far as being in a relationship. Your body goes into that whole survival of the fittest mode. It tries to make it be, if nobody else survives, you're going to survive. And that's a great thing that our bodies do, but that is not conducive to a relationship. That is not conducive to connecting with somebody. That is being out for self. So if you keep reacting to what the trauma tells you to do, to what the fear tells you to do, and lashing out in these ways that are not conducive to a relationship, you won't be in a relationship. That's why so many people have a hard time, where there are people that are still struggling with this a year or two later. They are struggling because what they want to do is be led by the fear, but then be treated with love. And it just does not work. I wish it worked like that so that it would be easier for everybody. But the fear wants you to isolate. The fear does not want you to be connected with anybody. It does not want the love. It does not care about the love. You have to care about the love. You have to care about it enough and choose that path instead of listening to what the fear tells you to do. Does that make sense? It's one of the hardest things, because a lot of the advice out there is all based in fear. Oh, well, you should be able to check his phone anytime you feel like it. First of all, uh being able to check your phone anytime you feel like it, that's a sign of abuse. All right, where somebody does not respect your privacy and they can just go through your stuff without your permission, that is a sign of abuse. It always has been. All right, they tell you that it's fine because you're justified, because he hurt you, so you're justified in going all through his stuff and invading his privacy like that, and then that's how you're going to heal. And that connection just throws me. You're going through his stuff, you're doing something that's not trustworthy, looking for something not trustworthy, and you believe that that's going to lead you to healing and being connected with this person you're being untrustworthy with, that you think is untrustworthy with you. That doesn't work. It just, if it made sense, I'd say do it, but it doesn't. You can't follow the fear and heal. You have to choose every single day to follow the love, choose the love, go for the love. Do not do what the fear tells you to do every day. And then it gets better. Then you're on the path. Then you're healing. Then he is reciprocating with healing actions, because you're not being mean and bitchy and lashing out anymore. You're following behind this healing path, and you seem to know where you're going, so he's following behind you. All right, so that's why you need to get control over yourself. All right, as you are healing, you are going to find your way more and more out of the woods. All right, it's more and more and more you're going to come to the light. All right, Jody. Jody said, ironically, we have a birthday party this weekend, like we did a year ago this weekend when I found out. So because this is a trigger, I'm debating if we go or just lay low. It depends. Whose birthday is it? If it's somebody that you really want to be there, you really want to be there for their birthday, go. Don't let this make you sit home. But if it's somebody that you're like, I can take it or leave it, I don't have to go to their birthday party, I ain't got to go to it every year. If it's somebody you feel like that about, then you could probably stay home. But if it's somebody that it feels important to go, but you're not going just because you're trying to avoid a trauma, trying to avoid a trigger, you'll be running from triggers for your life like that. Triggers, I always describe them like that thing that chases you in your nightmares. Have you all had that? Some people have never had that nightmare, and I find that strange, but I don't know. I guess not everybody's insecure as me. But it's there's a nightmare where you are running from something, right? And you are legs pumping, arms going, you're breathing all fast, you're breathing all hard, and you're being chased by the big bad behind you, and you are swearing that it's right on your neck. It is right there. It's going to catch you any second. That's how it is when you start running from triggers. That's how it is. It will chase you. It will chase you and run you down and have you exhausted. If you are triggered and you run from that trigger, if you try and avoid that trigger out in public, you try and make your honey accommodate that trigger in private, you are going to be running from that damn trigger forever. Okay. The way you stop that nightmare where somebody is chasing you, the way to stop that nightmare is to turn around. That is as simple as it can be. If you can remember in the midst of the terror to stop, plant your feet, and turn around and confront the monster, confront the big bag, confront the trigger, you're gonna feel better. You're gonna stop that running and catching that stitch in your side and trying to breathe. And you are gonna know that you were brave enough to face up to this. And a lot of the time when you turn around, it's not as big bad as you thought it was. So treat the triggers the same way. Turn around and face them. Do not try and run from them. Do not try and let other people not do them around you. You need exposure to them. It's like having a phobia. You need exposure to the thing that makes you afraid in order to get rid of that fear. If you just keep on avoiding it, it'll just keep on being a fear and it grows. That's how phobias grow. If you start off with something small that you're afraid of, that you don't want to confront, it grows into something bigger. All right. Jody, you said, so what do you do for the first anniversary? I do avoid things like movies and songs. Is the first year the worst? Okay. So what do you do for the first year anniversary? You do something together. You do something fun. You do something that takes your mind off of what has happened and something that you're looking forward to, something that you can do together joyfully, something that you can just enjoy and let your guard down for a little while. Something that you don't have to think about what has happened in the past. It is something you can do, something that's planned, like do something like wine tasting or something like that. Go and do something where you are being guided and then you don't have to think so hard. You are being guided, you have an itinerary, you know stuff that you're going to do, and you're going to do those things in place of thinking about, oh, a year ago, this is what happened. Well, guess what? This year, this happened. And next year, when I look back on this anniversary, I'm going to look back on the good thing that happened first, because that's how memory works. We do not remember the original thing. All right. We remember the last time we remembered. So if you are not letting yourself go all the way back to the very beginning, you are just picking up on this memory, this good time, this good weekend that you had this weekend, then the next year is much easier too. All right. You do things like you do avoid things like movies and songs. Expose yourself to them. Expose yourself to them. I did not know until I got cheated on exactly how many damn songs were about cheating. Okay. A lot of them are. And you have to understand that that is so because cheating is one of the great conflicts in being a human being. And in order to have a good story, you must have that good conflict. It's a conflict everybody understands. Everybody has been some part of that story. You've been the person that's betrayed. You've been the person that did the betraying. You've been the other person. Everybody has had that experience. And so everybody's um everybody understands it emotionally, and so it connects with most audiences, and then it's popular, then it makes money. You got to expose yourself to the things that are making you feel uncomfortable, because again, if you run from it, it's going to chase you. So it'll get worse and worse and worse. There will be more and more movies, more and more songs that you can't tolerate because you have treated this like a phobia. You have let that rut in your brain that says, I should be anxious about this song and this movie. It's a small rut now. It's not very deep. But if you keep on allowing it to be there, keep avoiding those certain movies, avoiding those certain songs, your brain sees you doing that and the rut becomes deeper. It becomes stronger. It becomes something bigger in your brain. And then there are more songs. And then there are more movies that you can't watch because it's going to make me feel bad. And I'm going to remember bad things if I do. And then you go further and further and further into the abyss. You will get to the place where no songs are safe. No movies are safe because you have allowed your brain to tell you that these particular movies and songs weren't safe. And so that grew into a big old phobia. That's the way it happens. That's the way it happens with people. I used to work in a psychiatric facility, and everybody that's got a phobia, it started off small. It started off a little thing. This lady says she got into a car accident driving. Okay, well, I'm not going to drive so much. Well, I'm really nervous about driving or having anybody else drive me because I don't trust anybody else is driving. So I'm going to go to stores in my neighborhood. Well, I could get hit by a driver that doesn't know what they're doing out on the street. So I'm going to just stay in my house. So the trauma of having a little car accident out in the world translated all the way down into a phobia of leaving the house by the time it was finished. So you can't just keep on letting your brain do that. You can't allow that to happen. If you see yourself avoiding stuff, you must pay attention to that and then choose to expose yourself so that your brain does not get used to that's a danger. That's something we should avoid. We shouldn't be around that. You can start to tone that down in your head. Is the first year the worst? Absolutely. Absolutely. It's the worst time. After you get past the year, you start to realize, like, oh shit, I made it a whole year. All right. Well, all right. Yes, it hurt, but I made it this far, so it can't be that bad. Like it starts to dim a little bit after that first year, but that first year, it's a beast. And then you said, so my therapist said, since I feel once a cheater, always a cheater, this may not be a relationship I should stay in. I grew up being told leopards don't change their spots. But we're not leopards, Joni. We're not leopards. Once a cheater, always a cheater. That's not true. I cheated on people before my relationship with my husband. I don't cheat now. Why does that have to be so? That's just some bullshit. I don't know where that even came from. I really don't. Because nobody is always anything. It's just not true. It is just not a true thing. And if you're believing that from the trauma or from societal pressure, from people telling you that beforehand, I understand how you might think that that is so, but just think about what you're saying. A person is always going to be the same. Is that true? Is that a true statement? A person never changes. They always do the exact same thing that they have always done. I have come to find that that's not true. People improve all the time. Me doing this, I watch people improve all the time. I watch people stop cheating all the time. So it's just not true. Don't be lulled by that fear speech. That's all that is fear speech. It's telling you, oh, well, you'll never be safe. It'll never be okay if you stick this out with him because if he's a cheater, now he's always going to be a cheater. That's just not true. It's just your brain telling you that if you were hurt before, then I'm scared that you're going to be hurt now. So I'm going to tell you that it's always going to happen to you. Does that make sense? And Alicia said, therapists usually tell us to leave the relationship instead of helping us get through the trauma. It's frustrating. That's exactly, girl, seriously. That's why I started doing this. Because I was like, everybody keeps saying leave. That totally disregards what you want for your future, the life that you have, the love that you have, the family that you have grown. You're totally disregarding me. I am your client. I'm sitting here telling you I want to stay and work this out. And they're like, well, no, that's not gonna work. And no, it's not gonna be all right. You can't ever heal from this. You're just never gonna trust them again. And that's just not true. You can practice trust. You can start to relieve trauma. You can get to a better place. I'm telling you, I have. I know that this is so. It is not once a cheater, always a cheater. My husband hasn't cheated in, shucks, now about 14 years now. About 14, 15, 15. Got to give him 15 because my son's 16. It's been about No, okay, well, yeah. My son is 16 and he cheated last when he was born. So, yeah, been 16 years. He cheated for 4 years and didn't for 16. That doesn't, just because he cheated for 4 years doesn't mean he's always going to be a cheater. That's just not true. It is just not true. You got to stop believing things that aren't true that are all based in the fear. Because does it make you feel good to think that? To have that thought, once cheater, always a cheater. Does that make you feel good inside? If it's not making you feel good, leave that thought, leave that belief pattern behind and move on to a better belief pattern. Yeah, it's so frustrating. I hate that. I don't like it when they just completely disregard you. And that's why I did this, because like everybody was disregarding me. Like I was telling people, I'm like, no, but I love him. They were like, no, but you gotta leave. I'm like, but you're not hearing me. I love him. I want to stay with him. I don't know how to do it. Tell me that. That's what I need you to tell me. Don't tell me to leave. That's not what I'm asking you for. I am asking for, how do you do it? All right. How do you overcome this? How do you get to a better place? That's why I had to come up with the dreams formula. That is exactly why it had to happen, which, by the way, is in the pinned comments in Facebook, and it's in my profile on Instagram. Make sure you pick up a copy. All right, Jolene, Johnny, you got a copy of you got a copy of the dreams formula. I want you to pick it up and go through it, because it's specifically stuff that people told me would work, that doesn't work, and doing the exact opposite of what they said worked. So that's why I wrote the dreams formula, so you can understand that a lot of the stuff that people are telling you to do doesn't really work. All right. You can keep on believing it all you want to, but it doesn't get you to healed. I want you to get to healed. I don't want you to get stuck in this place any longer than you are right now. All right. I want you to understand that you have power here. You are the main character. You can get to a different place. And the dreams formula will help you do that. Deciding, recognizing that fear speech and then overcoming it, evaluating the why this happened, sick, sad, and stupid of it all. Allowing that healing to happen, letting down the walls, getting closer on purpose, managing the future feelings, dealing with those triggers as they come, not letting them chase you around and around your bed, but confronting them and getting rid of them, and then seeking support, getting somebody who's on your side for this. If your therapist is not on your side, you need somebody on your side. All right, Johnny, I am here for you, babe. I'm trying to tell you. You need somebody who is on your side, who knows you want to stay and does not always keep you on the fence, because it's real easy for you to stay on the fence if somebody keeps telling you, well, you could just leave. Well, you could just leave them. You don't have to stay. You could just leave. It keeps you on the fence about your decision. You got to make your decision, hop right down off the fence and run with it. All right. Don't let anybody else tell you how to do it. Run with what you really, really want. If you want to heal, then you got to believe the best of this person that you love so much, Joni. If you believe once cheater, always a cheater, you believe that he has no room for growth. He is not the person that you are going to grow for the rest of your life with, if that's really what you believe. But you got to take it and like, okay, well, what do I really believe about him? What do I really believe? You got to believe that he loves you. You got to believe that he loves you just as much as you love him. As much as you are feeling like, you're probably feeling right now that your love is better than his, right? You're feeling like, oh, well, I would never do such a thing, so my love must be real and his must be fake. You got to start taking his love as real. You got to actually believe that his love is real. You want to heal. You want to be together. Why would you believe any less than that? All right? Does that make sense? All right. I'm yakking along, getting past 10 o'clock. You let me know if you got any other questions, comments, thoughts, complaints. I am here for you. But I'm going to close it up with what I normally tell you every single week. Do your affirmations. I know we went through this stuff at the beginning, All right. The stuff at the beginning is stuff that you can do on your own. And your affirmations are the same too. It's something that you can do on your own that's going to make you start to feel better. It's going to change that internal dialogue, that change those intrusive thoughts about yourself. All right. So I want you can grab a deck like this. This came from Five Below. It was actually $4, it wasn't even five. And you can find them on Amazon. Get yourself a deck of affirmation cards. If you can't think of a good affirmation, go ahead and do it. Oh, and matter of fact, speaking of affirmations, with my tech support program, you get affirmations every day from me, every day, first thing in the morning. So I did not post it in here. I actually sent it out to my email list, but I will post it in here too, connection to my tech support program. Get up with me for tech support. I can text with you during the day, help you out with this stuff. You'll have journal prompts and affirmations that you can use every single solitary day for 30 days. I'll teach you what to know. All right. You'll get to a better place in just 30 days. All right. I'll post it in the group after this. I forgot to post it in the group. Well, I was just doing that for the email list. But I love y'all, and so I want to tell y'all about it too. I don't have anybody to text right now. It's strange. I think it's been more than like a year since I last had like nobody to text. It's weird. I want somebody else to get on it so I can be texting back and forth with you about your relationship all day, because it's a thing. I love doing it all day. I really do. All right, so y'all, this is the affirmation for today. The affirmation is today I choose. It's something about the power of choosing, about the power of choice. Today I choose. Today I will only surround myself with people who support me. I like that. Today I choose. You choose. Don't let him choose. Don't let other people choose. Don't let your therapist choose. Don't let your mama choose. You choose what you want your life to look like, what you want it to be like, and then follow through with that. It's just that simple. It is the simplest way to go about life. Make your choice and then follow through with it. And then you'll see where you end up. If you end up in a better place, hey, you did good. If you end up in a worse place, okay, now I know what not to do. Either way, you get to choose. This is your life. Don't be ashamed of any of your choices. And if one of your choices is in favor of love and compassion and forgiveness, especially don't beat yourself up about that, because I'm proud of you for that. All right. And I'm proud of you and I love you. I love you for opening up your hearts like this, for wanting better than this trauma. All right. I'm proud of you. I think that you are doing the right thing. It's just about getting on the healing path and sticking to it and making that path and then getting a little further away from you, honey. All right. As you're traveling this path, you're going to be having your back to him, but he's going to see that you are walking pretty sure footed on a path and he's going to run to catch up with you. All right. So I think that's about it. Anything else? Y'all good? I think we're good. I think that's all I got for today. Thank you so much for joining me for the Healing Hour Live. If you want to get up with me for my tech support program or just to ask me a question in private, feel free to message me on Instagram DMs, Facebook Messenger, whichever. It doesn't matter. I am always here for you. All right. That's it. I think that's it. Thank y'all so much for joining me, and I'll see you again next week, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Healing Hour Live. And I got a little surprise about what's coming up next week, so you don't want to miss it, all right? All right, I'll see you next week. Bye. Bye, Instagram. And bye, YouTube and Facebook.